Hi, I'm Marcus Blake with That Nerd Show. We're here at the 2018 Earth by Film Festival, and we are talking about we are interviewing James Balog, the filmmaker and acclaimed photographer, over his film, The Human Element. James, thank you for interviewing with us. Tell us a little bit about how this project came to you.
Well, it's
the inspiration behind it.
In a way, the human element has been growing in my head for decades, but really started intensely about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, where I realized that there were so many historic and epic changes happening in the natural system simultaneously, and I wanted to try and put those stories together in some sort of coherent fashion. You know, working on ice and climate change in the polar regions and the mountains, we were looking relatively narrowly at one slice of reality. Right. I wanted to go out beyond that, go much more horizontally, and put a lot of the story together. So that's what the human element is about. It's about how, as humans change nature, earth, air, fire, and water, those basic elements push back at us.
Right.
And when you think about things that way, you realize that the corollary is we're not separate from nature, as thousands of years of human tradition have told us. You know, we've been programmed to believe that nature's over here and we're over there. But when you see us interacting with these natural elements and realize that we're a force of change on the earth, just the way the elements are themselves, you realize we're all part of the same system. And to me, that's a really significant paradigm shift in how you think about yourself and your civilization.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, you're also dealing with people on the front lines of this stuff. I mean, that are not just sitting back in a classroom talking about it. I mean, that's got to be an interesting experience of talking with these people that are right there in the face of it.
Yeah, well, the work on the film really put us right into the thick of things, for sure. And we encountered amazing stories and amazing people and amazing experiences, particularly for me, working on the wildfires in California. That was really one of the most profound experiences I've had in my creative life, was being out there, learning how to be a firefighter. I got trained as a firefighter, and then throwing myself into the middle of these really dangerous, intense, violent, dramatic episodes when the fires were big, and having to grapple with that and try and make a decent picture out of it.
Right. Now, I'm sure you have a whole new appreciation for, like, firefighters that deal with this.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I'm in awe of what wildland firefighters do.
Yeah.
It's incredibly hard work, dangerous work. It's unhealthy work. It's really hard on you.
Well, I know they came out with the movie Only the Brave last year, but I feel like that hasn't even scratched the surface compared to what you experienced.
Yeah, I don't know that film, so I won't comment on it.
Fair enough.
But no, we found that all the chemicals and particulates. We found that all the chemicals and particulates that you inhale when you're out there working in the smoke is actually quite bad for your body. My lead cameraman wound up with pneumonia within 2 months after we were out on the fires. He never had pneumonia before, and he's a very, very fit guy. I've never had pneumonia before, and a year after we were out in the fires, I had pneumonia. And I think it's because those particulates kind of damaged our lungs a bit, and we're not as strong as we once were.
Now, what's the biggest perception change that you got in doing this film project?
Yeah, the big thing for me is that I'm going to circle back around to what I said before, okay? Because that's really what the answer is to that question.
Okay.
The big thing for me is the realization. The big thing for me is the intensified realization that humans are not separate from nature. We are in and of nature. We are similar forces to the basic elemental forces of earth, air, fire, and water, and we have to accept that and understand that. And if we understand the kind of influence we have, I think we have a better opportunity to do something about it effectively. The other big thing I realized in the course of this project is that when we make environmental films or tell environmental stories, too much of the time the tendency is to say, those other guys over there are wrong, and to go shame, 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 and wag the finger and complain about what somebody else is doing. And to pretend that you, the filmmaker, or you, the writer, storyteller, are somehow holier than thou.
Right.
In this story, my premise is that we're all in this together. Nobody is outside this system. And I think that's the other key thing, that the sooner we all realize we're in the system, we're all part of the problem, we can be part of the solution.
I think that's absolutely right. And it's okay to come out to have different ideas and share them.
Yeah.
You know. So. All right. So we always like to ask a very fun question at that nerd show because we're nerdy, even though we talk a lot about science and stuff. Within the nerd universe, superpowers, lightsabers, and all that. If you could have like a weapon of choice or a superpower, what would you choose?
If I have my choice to what?
Like a weapon of choice, like a lightsaber, superpower, or anything. What would your thing be?
I would like to be able to have some magical ability to get inside the brains of 7.2 billion people and do a little bit of rewiring, a little bit of tinkering and rethinking.
I think I saw an X-Files episode on that.
Yeah, no problem. That's easy. I'll do that by the end of the evening, right?
There you go. We could solve everything right here and now.
That's right. That's right.
Great answer. Well, thank you very much for interviewing with us. I can't wait to see the film. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.